Hey.
This is the part where I'd normally hit the nitro revival kind of thing going on. Yeah, all right, done. Right, but
Done.
I literally don't feel like doing it right now because
Yeah.
it's
We have other
everything
things
going
going
on
on.
sucks. So, but so just to run down the list here, Jason's Garage is in here. Tom Brown, Dust Devil Garage, Uncle Squirrel, 38 POS Racing, Danny Boyd, Jonathan Couchy. He says he's been praying for the two of us each day. So awesome, dude. Thank you so
Thanks,
much. I
man.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yep.
A Cove. Mostly old parts and Russ Patrick, Buff Del Campo, Mohawk 62, Mr. Wilburn John, that is swooping in here to snipe some visuals in front of everyone. NSB Custom Cars is here. Let's see, anybody else that I haven't mentioned yet? Jackie Abbott is here. And then Colleen Tebow just snuck in down at the bottom. All right. Well, just like last week, was that last week, Shane?
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah.
Oh my God, man, my life sucks.
Doesn't it seem like a long time ago?
Oh
It's
my
only
God.
been 1 week, but it's
I
been
know.
a long time.
Dude, well, and I haven't slept, but maybe I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of it.
Yeah, my
I'm not sleeping
morning
good.
ritual's 3 a.m. It seems like I'm up by 3 a.m. and going to bed late. Just
I
having a
usually
hard time
do
sleeping.
45 minutes a day. That's about all I'm getting because what'll happen is, and without really tearing everything up or whatever, but I mean, when this whole process started for me, I had a lot of shit happen all at one time, right? And it was so hard to just pick through and weed through and how it makes sense of this whole thing. Plus, that I'm getting served this I want a divorce bullshit, and I really didn't know what to think at the time. And I ended up having a panic attack. I had to go to the VA hospital and they put me on a bunch of meds, right? And that's one thing the VA does not have a problem for. They will throw meds at you like no problem. And you want meds? If the hardcore stuff ain't working, we'll step it up a couple notches, okay? And they don't care. So unfortunately, they threw some meds at me, and just because I think meds is what started this whole thing, so I don't want to freaking jump down the rabbit hole. But they give me some for sleeping, right? And I literally would take the med, and I'd be out like in 5 minutes, out. And 40 minutes later, I'd wake up and you couldn't go back to sleep. And it was like the worst experience ever on some kind of sleeping pill because you're like, oh man, I can finally get a night's rest and take the pill and man, you're out and you don't dream or anything, and then you wake up and like, oh man, I feel rested. What time is it? What? It's 40 minutes later.
Yeah. Well, I've actually just been burning myself out. I get up, I go to the gym in the morning. I try to get my 10,000 steps in. And then, like lately, when we bought this house, for some reason, people use flagstone out here for whatever reason. So
I don't even know what that is. So
it's like this, it's like slate. It looks like, and it's like thin pieces of stone, and it's really flat. And they stack them up, and it looks, that's like a border for like grass to like whatever, your flower beds. So they have it, and it's in the ground. So what I've been doing is we've been pulling that up. I've been having my daughter help me out, and we've been pulling that stuff up, and it's like 3 or 4 stacked high, and it borders the whole front yard, and we've been piling it up in the front yard, and I do 2 or 3 hours of that a day, and just that's the only way I'm sleeping right now is burning myself out and melatonin. That's it.
yeah, I don't do the melatonin. I do the artichoke tea. I think I told you that before. But all right. So I've just been a mess. I've been a wreck. I don't want her to go. I don't want to get a divorce. My wife does. Let's see. I got my daughter somewhat sorted out. It's taking her to inpatient treatments. I leave tomorrow to go to the Buick Nationals. The VA therapist said, "Hey, dude, just go the whole weekend. Don't even come back. Just fuck it." Right? And I'm like, you know what? That's genius. I might just do that. And so that's
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I might just do that and just enjoy the Buick Nationals. I don't know. We'll find out how it works out. But I had a really bad bad run of luck last year with this with the Jardiance and the depression that it caused, and then I had guys flaking on me for engines, and I'm just going to take them there and flip them and sell them, right?
Yeah.
And then there's one guy, Roger, who I owe my 215 to. I'm supposed to rebuild the 215 and give it back to him. I think I'm just going to call him and say, hey, man, come get it. It's yours. You know, because I can't rebuild it. I'm just a freaking mess right now. And I don't want to keep dragging this guy along, right? But let's see here. Okay, so Levi's Backyard Performance says, Dallas, you sound so much better. No. No, I'm still...
I'm telling you, you do.
Do I?
Compared to last week, I even told you that before we even went on live. Didn't I say that? You said,
yeah.
I said you look and sound better.
Oh, I've been getting sun. That's it. And I'm trying to get rid of stuff. Because and it's not that... Okay, my wife has literally picked every fault that I've ever had in the past 20 years and thrown them all in this thing, right? Yeah. And one of them is like, you know, you're working too much in the garage. Oh, yeah? How does that food taste? You know, that's kind of the question I have. You know, How would you like that house payment being made? Because that's how we do that. And I'm sorry I was putting a lot of hours, but I had to make ends meet, and that's the way I was doing it. And I get no credit for it. I get retribution, and not fair.
Yeah, that was happening to me in California. I was working, basically, I was at one job, an electrical contracting company, and then I was also working on cars on the side just to make ends meet. It seemed like,
Let's see, Levi's. My truck is a '94. If you got a ram air hood, that's kind of cool because I don't think I've ever seen one. I guess there used to be a place called Cervini's that used to make stuff for like lightnings. That's probably what that is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Everybody's just greeting each other, which is cool because that still happens in the chat. Even though we're going to talk about depressing, crappy Dallas's life, and I don't know if Shane's life isn't much better, but
well,
Jupiter Mustang Mike says, "Don't be ashamed, Dallas. It happened to me after my hernia operation. The WPB VA gave me hundreds of pills." Yeah, dude, they do that, and I hate it. I remember I had pain in my feet, and this was before they diagnosed me with diabetes, right? So it was like, technically it's neuropathy in your feet because your nerves are dying because they're not getting enough freaking blood flow to your feet. So here it was, I had pain in my feet. So they give me, what is that stuff called? Capinzabine or something like that. But it was like literally on a list for causing like huge nerve issues, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some kind of drug that slowed nerve, like the rate of information through the nerves.
Well, slowed it down, yeah.
It slowed it down so you didn't have all that pain, right? But it also caused your nervous system to break down. And I was like literally taking them, like we're reading them. Oh man, what the hell? No, I'm not taking this shit no more. Right. Let's see. Jonathan Couchy says research has proven recently suggesting that the average person should be taking 5,000 UI of vitamin D3 a day minimum. It helps with mental health, sharpness, and multiple physical illnesses. Huh. I'm assuming that UI is micrograms. The U being micro and then I being something. Maybe he's talking about milligrams. I don't know. I just let's see. I would love to take something that would make me feel a lot better, but unfortunately, there isn't anything for it. It's just going to be time. In these kind of situations, you just get beat to death with your own.
You're
emotions.
your own worst enemy. Your brain is. You know.
And I'll tell you how my night went last night. I tried to do something nice for my wife. She loves black and tans, so I made her some black and tan, And I had talked to my neighbor about what was going on. So he then addressed it with my wife. And then that just blew up in my face. And I had made this black and tan. I was going to have a nice evening and just try to not have a screaming match evening, and it turned into a screaming match evening. And then I couldn't sleep, and then every time I started to doze off, this is what's weird, I would hear my wife call my name, and I would wake up and I would go, yeah, and then expecting to wake up to something different, a different circumstance, a different situation. So that's not happening. All right, so Iceman 2K10, hey guys, here to give you a massive props for bearing your souls for us schmucks. You didn't have to do it, but it was a brave thing to do. Well, we're doing it again tonight. But here's something that, and I know it sounds like lame, we're here whining about stuff going on in our life, but Shane and I had talked about it, and it actually makes you feel better. Just kind of throwing that out there. So I appreciate you guys being the shoulder to cry on.
And also too, after our last week, I got an amazing amount of text messages from people who are going through about the same thing or have gone through it, and they were just looking for someone to tell their story. So I mean, if us schmucks, me and Dallas, can somehow help someone out with just this little thing, 1 hour each week that we're kind of doing that. Hey, we're going through the same thing, and it's okay. Everyone does it. You're not stuck, just isolated. Maybe that's what it's for. I don't know.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. I'll try to get to all these questions here. Jupiter Mustang Mike's telling me, tell her good riddance. And I'll tell you what, dude, I'd love to, but right now I'm still emotionally attached. And this was a surprise for me, right? So it's not like, we were having a rough life. I was content. I was very happy with my life. And when it flipped and turned upside down on me, I'm having a hard time letting go, man. That's my biggest problem. And Shane tells me every day, just like, dude, just fucking let it go. Let her get out of here, and I just can't. Let's see.
Also, too, what helps, too, is having a friend that you can talk to. We talk 2 times a day at least, minimum.
Usually. And it's usually me crying on the phone.
But it's okay, man. It's no big deal.
Colleen Tebow says, take a break, Dallas. I'm going to the Buick Nationals. I am going to not do any alcohol because I did find out I was working on a Buick 455 in my garage, and I'm like, oh, man, it's a pretty hot day. I'll have a beer. Yeah, don't do that when you're emotionally distraught, because I was like 40 minutes later crying. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes, and I quit smoking like 3 months ago, right? And it's just horrible.
It's the worst thing.
Yeah. It sets you back, I think, more than picks you up. Let's see. Patrick Sandals, I look really tired. Okay, I have a record for you guys. I have a superpower that you probably didn't know. Being in the Navy, it taught me this ability to, I don't have to sleep. I can literally push myself. But my record in the Navy was 3 days, right?
Yeah.
My record after this emotional abortion that happened to my life, I went 6 days no sleep, right?
Wow.
To the point where I ended up just walking and fell asleep. And I'd never done that before. But today is I got 45 minutes last night is what I got, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing my wife say my name, and I text her, like, are you calling my name? And she didn't answer, so I figured, okay, she's not, right? And then in the morning, it's like, I think you're losing your mind, like, well, okay, maybe so. I don't know. I've never been down this road. Nobody's ever aborted my relationship on my face. That's terrible. Okay, so Bill McKinska, hey, y'all. Glad to see you two are still here. Keep the faith and try to enjoy life to its fullest. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go to the Buick Nationals. If I happen to have some fun, you're going to hear about it, right? If I accidentally trip and fall and, I don't know, fall on the top of some chick, maybe that'll happen too. Who knows, right? I don't have a fucking clue. But I just know that I need to get away from here for a little while because it's a very awkward situation and it's tense. And I think it's probably best that somebody leave. And since my wife is working all these hours, I'll do it, right? Let's see. Danny Boyd saying just say no to pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. I do not trust them.
Yeah.
So Tom Brown's asking, did my daughter make it home from the hospital? Yes, she was in there 1 week.
Oh, that's good.
And they sent her home. Then the school decided that they didn't need her at the school any longer, so they sent her to a special needs school. And that was based on the recommendation for the county. I don't know what his actual job title is. I'm going to call him douchebag. And so the county douchebag wouldn't return my phone call. So I called the school, and they're like, there's 14 days left of school. We expect her here on Monday for intake. And I said, 14 days? What do you guys got planned? And they're like, yeah, well, there's not a lot left, right? And I said, oh, okay, well then, is her grades good enough to pass right now? And they said, yeah. And I said, oh, well, that's good, because I just got back from the doctor's office, and she's got COVID-19. So I'll see you guys next year, right? And that was the end of the entire school thing, right? Because if you're wanting to, I mean, it had to work for the rest of the world.
Why not right now?
Yeah, sure, right? So, Colleen, I sound better. It's probably because I just ate something. I've, if you haven't noticed, I'm down to about 25 pounds. I'm very sunburned from being outside. I noticed that if I stop working, I don't know, emotions attack me. So I freaking work till my skin is ripped on my hands, you just work through your skin. But
that's what I'm doing. Same thing, man.
All right. What am I missing, folks? Oh, okay. Well, we started doing these. This is the Life Talk Live. Shane and I are both going through some serious life drama at the moment, and there was a lot of people last week asking if Shane and I hated each other and all this stuff because of the the stuff that had happened in the past with other people, and. So we went on the live just to set the record straight. Hey, this is what's going on. Life sucks. Sorry.
Kicking us in the nuts right now.
Yeah,
and for real.
There was a lot of people that were like, dude, this live is awesome because it's not your run-of-the-mill normal live. There's nobody on YouTube doing a live like this. And it's like, we didn't do it just to have people watching. We actually did it because we wanted to set the record straight. Mm-hmm. And then what we found was when we did that live last week, this week, we decided to do it again because we felt good about doing the one last week. Yeah. It actually makes you feel better venting about this stupid crap.
It does.
And so right now, I have, where I stand right now, the American Hot Rod Association is in a 1-year hiatus. I shut it down for a whole year. I extended everybody's membership for 1 year. Am I going to be able to come back from that? I don't know. Is the HRA going to be able to come back from it? I have no freaking clue. But I know that if I didn't do this, I would have regrets for the rest of my life. If I didn't shut that down and my marriage failed, I would have regrets for the rest of my life about it. Right now, I put in 100% to try to maintain my family and my marriage, and so I also do a lot of cool things. I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go hiking every morning. So I hike 5-6 miles every morning. And feels good. I enjoy doing it. Probably what's causing a lot of the weight loss. Plus, I'm not eating well, and I haven't slept in days. But so that's where I'm at.
For me, it's things are still moving along. I mean, wife's getting the help that she needs, and basically I'm here playing single dad. That's where I'm having a lot of problems, just because it's a lot, while I'm trying to maintain a career, and I have 3 kids. I have a set of twins, a boy and a girl twin. They're 8, and then I have a 13-year-old, and she's doing 13-year-old stuff, and so there's a lot going on. Plus, we have that. I have cars that I'm trying to get ready to go, and I definitely want to go beat up on some people on the No Name National. So I got the 1050 car I'm working on. So I've got a lot going on too, and there's just a lot on my plate right now. Hoping that the wife gets better, and that she can come home in August, or at the end of July. So that would be that's a bonus. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But it's funny, Dallas, that you said that you wake up to hearing your wife calling your name. I have that same thing because right now I'm alone in the bed, and so then you wake up and you're like, huh, and you look over and you're expecting to see someone there, and they're not. It messes with you, because you swear you heard them talking to you.
My worst time with this whole thing is night.
Oh yeah,
Nighttime gets to me bad.
fucks with you, man.
Yeah, and like I'll
See
wake
shit
up.
that's not there,
I'll fall asleep for 5 minutes and I'll wake up and I can't breathe, just because I feel like I'm alone. And but without being a downer on a Debbie Downer on everybody's party here, so Jonathan Couchy says, went to the dermatologist today. Leg is doing better. I can wear my prosthetic about 3 to 4 hours a day, off and on. But he basically said, stay off it until it fully heals as much as it can. I hate the idea that you got to go through the prosthetic thing. I'm sure it's probably in my future because I went for 15 years without having diabetes diagnosed. I just had every symptom in the book and nobody ever diagnosed it. And I'm sure I'm going to end up, because the one that sent me over the edge that where it ended up getting diagnosed was my eyesight dropped to the point where I couldn't read one morning. Right? Like,
Wow.
What in the world? And then, oh yeah, hey, did you know your blood sugar's 380? Well, no. Was I supposed to be watching that? How do I manage that? Oh yeah, how long you been diabetic? Never. So that's how I got it. And what I have found is, my wife has all these harbored, resented feelings for over 10 years where I was just an absolute asshole to her. And a lot of it is because my blood sugar was freaking astronomically high for a long time. And it screws with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then comes that whole thing we've been talking about this whole time, communication. And that's the biggest thing, is we have to communicate better.
Yeah, that's the big problem, is that, Shane's been guiding me on this. He's kind of a couple months ahead of me, right? But I'm trying to improve myself.
Me too.
Right? So that the next person that comes along, this stupidity doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen as easy as it did this time without me knowing about it.
Yeah. Well, they say that everybody knows that the deficit insanity is doing the exact same thing, expecting a different result. And this is the reason why I'm trying to change things for myself. You kind of get stuck in a little rut, and before you know it, 10, 15 years has gone by, and you don't realize it. Wow, I've never really learned how to communicate with people correctly.
Yeah, that's my big problem. Is I'm horrible at communication when it comes to telling people how I feel about something, or I can tell you how to do something. I cannot tell you how I feel about something honestly.
No.
Right? I cannot.
I'm still working on that too.
And that's my biggest problem. And that's where all of this stemmed from was, I think, was October when I got depressed. I mean, I'd never been that depressed in my life, ever. And it was like, just as soon as it starts to somewhat let up, you take another pill, and then it just like smashes you back down to the ground. Yeah. And my wife was asking me, she would ask me questions, and I'd say, I'd get all short-tempered with her, and she'd say, "What are you so short-tempered about?" And I couldn't open up to her and tell her, "Look, I'm just praying every day I don't freaking blow my head off." Pretty somber crap. But Jupiter Mustang Mike says you get a new girlfriend and take care of your daughter. I've heard that, I know. I do know that the only way to cure this easily is just a new piece, right? But right now, I don't think I could tackle a new piece because I'd just be freaking crying all over her right now. I got to have some kind of structure back in my emotions again.
What were you telling me that we should go and do? There was a place we need to go to. You were telling me, hey, when this is all said and done, we're going to go somewhere.
Oh, dude, I said if we both get divorced, booking flights where I'm going to Palate Beach, Thailand. I'm going to Palate Beach, Thailand, and I'm going to freaking tear them up.
Like male Disneyland, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 38 POS. Proud to know both of you and strong enough to let it out. Yeah, man, it sucks, right?
Yeah.
Jupiter Mustang Mike said the wife will come let him back if I get a new girlfriend, right? So I don't know if I want that. I mean, all right, here's the double-edged sword. As much as I want her to come back, 3 years from now when I get back into my content life again, would she drop it on me again? I don't know if I want her to do that to me again. And I told her that. I said, once I let you go, I think you're gone. Because I don't want to do this pain again. I cannot.
That's my issue, is that I've gone through so much pain in these, since basically December of last year, that it's like it's rough. It's like, do I want to challenge this again? Do I want to have this possibly happen again? This sucks.
All right. Kevin says, was it gabapentin? That's it, buddy. And it's go look at the side effects. It's like crash your nervous system. Really? Yeah, it's bad. That stuff's bad. It's on like major recall crap. They got like all of these vets offing themselves because of this stuff, and oh, dude. Okay. Unfortunately, in the world of socialized medicine, if you were ever contemplating if socialized medicine was going to be good for the world, I'll tell you first and foremost, the VA is socialized medicine, and it blows. Okay, there's no way around it. It sucks ass. Yeah. You get gabapentin, but you get the generic version, like glabapentin or something, right?
Right.
And you can't sue the guy that's making the generic version. Now, if the big pharmaceutical company making gabapentin, if they give me some of that good shit, I could sue the crap out of them. But they won't. I always get the generic version. That's all they give you. Mm-hmm. It's just a scam. All right. Ari, he's lost. Anyone want to fill me in so I don't have to watch last week's live stream? Lots of emotional life shit kicking me and Shane in the nuts at the same time, and we decided to just take a break. And that was literally the extent of it.
Yeah.
Shane's wife is sick and in a hospital. My daughter ended up being bullied at school and got sent to a mental institution. And the same day on the way home, my wife decided she wanted a divorce. So, a lot of stuff to eat at one time. And we decided to just take a break and try to sort this out. But then a lot of people started asking questions. Mm-hmm. Are we at throws with each other?
Jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, and it's like, no, man. Mm-mm. I'm getting wrecked by life right now, and I figured it probably wasn't best to put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then when we decided to address all those questions that were coming up, we realized that the group here was very supportive of what we were doing, and it actually made you feel better when you talked about this crap.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Okay. All right, Dallas, you definitely need time, but sleep is so important, especially with diabetes. Yes. Okay. So that's that whole stupid diabetes. This is the thing that's going to kill me. I know it for a fact. Okay. Lack of sleep, emotional stress, right? Make the blood sugar go through the roof. I don't even have to eat anything. And that's what happens. Is I checked into the VA. I hadn't eaten anything in like 5 days, and I hadn't slept in 5 days. And when I went into the VA hospital, they took my blood sugar. It was 288, I think, 288, something like that.
Wow.
No, I don't do the melatonin. I do, I'm sorry, I should probably read the whole question. You definitely need time, but sleep is so important, especially with diabetes, stress, etc. Do whatever it takes to sleep better. Melatonin is helpful for some. Definitely worth a try. Melatonin I'll do. I have done it in the past, and it's like, it just makes me groggy the next day. I have found artichoke tea will knock you out, right? And you'll stay asleep the whole night, and you'll wake up feeling refreshed in the morning. Now, here's the problem. It's not that I don't have artichoke tea. It's that my wife and I will have an argument. Okay, I'll tell you the sickness of this, okay? The sickness of this. This is my sickness, okay? And only Shane knows this. I haven't told anybody else this. I miss my wife so much that I will wait for her to come home from work at 9 o'clock at night. And when she walks in the door, I want to talk to her so bad that I will say anything to her. And if she gets mad, she gets fired up, just starts chewing my ass, whatever, I stand there and take it. Because I can actually get to talk to her. It's hard.
Sorry.
No, it's all right, man. It's hard. You got to remember, I've been with this woman for 20 years.
Yeah, 23 for me.
I've sailed around the earth 7 times while married to this woman, and every time I had to wave goodbye to her on the pier, and I had to hug her when I came home. This is not the easiest thing I've ever done, and it's by far the hardest. And I truly do love her. I don't know where all of this hate and discontent came from. And I imagine it's something that she's just stored up for a long time. But I want to get over it. But it's going to take a little bit of time. You know, and I got to rip the Band-Aid off. So, oh, Mike is saying I need to call her bluff and tell him I got a new girlfriend. Yeah, don't go to a country bar. Yeah, I'll probably. Hey, can you hand me that clock right there? Okay, let's see. Tom Brown saying the worst is being in the same house with the one you love, but them not letting you love them. I still remember that. That's exactly where I'm at right now, and that's where her and I were having a conversation about it last night, and it didn't end well. Right? It was like, I'll summarize it for you. Pack your shit and get the fuck out of the house kind of stuff. Right?
Wow.
And in Tennessee state law, you leave, you abandon any financial means in the home, and you abandon any rights to see your children. Mm-hmm. So I have to wait till the paperwork's done and submitted. That's if I want to do the paperwork. Right? I don't want to do the paperwork. We have had this discussion before with her, and she said, she told me, we're getting divorced. And I said, no, you're mistaken. You're getting divorced, right? I'm not getting divorced. I didn't want that. If you had all these harbored feelings, why didn't we talk about it? You know, that's the kind of thing I'm wondering. But,
that's it. Like I've said this before to you at 5 a.m. sometimes, the communication thing. And I think, I keep talking about the communication, and I think me and the wife are actually communicating better now than we ever have in the past. As far as understanding each other, what we're saying correctly, and actually not just hearing, but actually listening to the other person, what they're actually saying.
Buff is saying his wife did the same thing 3 years ago. It took at least a year before I wasn't upset anymore. And I'm sure it's going to be the same way for me. It's literally been 1 month for me. Mm-hmm. 1 month. I'm just happy I'm standing here. The VA gave me a 94% probability of committing suicide within the next 18 months. So I'm just happy that I'm not dead right now. Let's see here.
Oh, by the way, I turned off my comments, by the way. So
yeah, well, I can do the comments. I'll tell you what, it really messes with me. I cannot Facebook. I cannot TV.
Yeah,
my skin will crawl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing I watch, I will admit, in the morning I watch the news just to see what's kind of going on, the weather, and it's just something I'm used to doing in the morning. When I have my coffee and have my breakfast. Other than that TV stays off. There's nothing for me to watch.
Yeah, Jonathan Couchy, don't worry. My kids, they know this. I tell them every day. Every day I'm still your daddy. Mm-hmm. Every day I still love you, no matter how this works out. Right? Yeah. So you need to lose 25 pounds. Hey, man, go find your significant other and tell them you want a divorce.
It's not a healthy way to lose 25 pounds, though.
Oh, yeah. I could... Dude.
It's not healthy.
It was the first week. I could not stop throwing up. Right? That's how bad it's affected me.
Mm-hmm.
I could not stop throwing up. Okay. Let's see. A Cove says, been through a similar deal. Ride it out. It will get better. Beware of pitfalls. Don't do anything rash. I've done many things rash already, so I am king rash right now. Because I think when I'm doing something like, I did it all rash, right? And it's like, oh, this would be nice. I'm going to do this. It just blows up in my face.
Yeah.
Right? To the point where it's like you can't talk to each other for at least 2-3 days. Let's see. Ari said a Gearhead Gripe live stream. Dallas and Shane, you guys are awesome. I learned a lot from both of you. I'm sorry times are hard. Times can't always be great, my friend. And
Yeah.
I just hope that somebody else sees this and realizes that, hey, you know what? I'm not the only one going through this shit.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
that's the only reason this is the hardest chat. Normally, when the chats I'm looking forward to, and I just come up here and we just kind of breeze through it.
Chatted.
Yeah, but man, these are difficult. You know, these are difficult to do because it's coming from here, not just from here. You know.
So Muscle Car Solutions sent a $25 super chat. I didn't even know at 8:29. So it's like 7 minutes ago. Sorry about that, Muscle Car Solutions. But it says, ask lots of questions. How do I put that on the screen? Do I have to put that on the screen? So it says, ask lots of questions at your VA appointments. They don't have your best interests at heart. Resist more mood-altering meds. And I'm right there with you, man. So this is how I found out. I got the Jardiance, and it gave me the Jardiance, right?
Right.
And I didn't know what was going on for 4 months. I'm like, why the hell am I so depressed? Why am I so mad all the time? So I ended up Googling that medicine, and it had like all the side effects listed off to the side, right?
Check.
And it was like number 1, depression and suicidal ideations, right? And it's like, wow, that's number 1? You know, like I'll take anal bleeding for 10, you know, over that. That used to be the side effect like 10 years ago was anal bleeding, or, you know, your eyeballs would swell in your face or something dumb like that. But now it's like go full-blown depression mode where you want to freaking Kurt Cobain yourself. So
Yeah. They're giving it to someone who's already borderline having problems. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. So Jupiter Mustang Mike, wonder if AHRA GoFundMe. I don't know, maybe I should do that. I don't know. I really what I was looking at doing was I called around to the people that had shown interest in the past, try to sell it, because I don't want the thing to go away and I don't want it to be shelved. I know if I called like Larry Jeffers owns the IHRA now, right? But he was AHRA track last year, and we're still holding the No Name Nationals at his track this year. But if I sold him the AHRA, he owns the IHRA, and he will shelf one of them, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll never see it again. So I haven't sold it to him, and you know I haven't. There's a select few people I called about trying to sell it, but GoFundMe wouldn't be a bad thing either.
Dude, that would work. Put it up on this thing, you know.
Yeah. Dougster, apparently everybody says I sound better. But it's probably because I just ate something, or I don't know. I'm less dehydrated now. I don't know. Let's see. Buff's asking me if the eyesight improved. No. I went from never having glasses in my life to 175 readers, and then from 175 to 400.
Whoa, really? 400 readers?
Yeah.
Wow.
And now I can't do anything without my readers. I can't do anything.
Wow. I wear them just for my left eye. This eye right here just doesn't work all that well. It's always been like that. That's why I get headaches. But man.
Well, if you're gonna start a GoFundMe, just throw the address up here. We'll get it going. Yeah, I didn't even think about doing that, and I don't like begging for people's money. I'll send you T-shirts. If you want to buy stuff, go over to. If you want to throw me some cash, go over to freaking eBay right now. I got plenty of shirts. I don't think I have all my stuff up there. I got posters and all kinds of crap I don't have up there now. But Ari says he thinks I'm doing good. I appreciate it, man. I'm not. Shane has older daughter taking on the role of mom to the twins at home.
No, no, absolutely not. That's one thing I'm making sure of is that she still stays a kid. I'm not. I will not allow her to make food or do anything or tell him what to do or anything. Even though she's tried a few times, I'm still dad. I still want her to be a kid, and I'm not going to put that on her, so at all. So, but yeah, that's not going to happen.
Let's see. Jonathan Couch is saying if you have the number one rule for a prosthetic leg, if it starts to get uncomfortable, it's time to take it off. Right now, that's after 30 minutes of wearing it, so enough to move projects around and take it off. Dude, that sounds good to me. I mean, I would figure the number one rule for prosthetic leg was like, don't get in that ass kicking contest thing, because it just is not going to work out well for you because you're literally the one-legged man in the ass kicking contest at that point. But no, I bet that thing is uncomfortable because I don't know how they roll the flesh over the end of that thing. It can't be soft. I mean, think about it. Like half your weight would be on it, right? So if you have one leg that's not prosthetic and one leg that is, half your weight would be on there. So if you weighed 200 pounds, 100 pounds would be on your severed limb and the bone inside there. I'm sure there's still a bone. So, yeah, 38 POS Racing says communication is a two-way street. If you don't get any back, it's hard to tell if you're doing it right. I'll tell you the big one is, when all of this stuff was going on with me being depressed and all that, I never once got are you doing okay? Is there anything going on with you? No. So Buff saying new girlfriend after a couple of years. I'm sorry. When I get the new girlfriend, I'm going to wear her ass out. I'm going to wear her out.
But that's keyword girlfriend, only girlfriend.
What?
I said that's the keyword.
Oh yeah,
girlfriend.
I can't. Yeah, I will specifically have to request female, like from birth kind of stuff, right? I know how the way today's going with society.
Yes.
I never know anymore. But
girlfriend.
And I never figured I would have to dip my leg back into the dating pool when it was like this messed up, right? But okay. So let me see if I can catch up here. There's that super chat. Well, I must be way behind. That's pretty cool. Dougster's saying, remember everyone, if you're going through hell, keep going, right? Winston Churchill said that apparently. Let's see. Tony's Hot Rod Garage, diabetes is a son of a bitch. Lack of sleep definitely screws with glucose. Man, I'm telling you, I didn't eat anything, and I had 288 blood sugar. And they're like, dude, I thought you had your blood sugar under control. Well, I thought I had my emotions in check too. Wrong. Okay. Tom's asking, Shane, will you tell us, is your wife in the hospital for mental health or something physical?
I'm not going to comment on that right now. If she wants to elaborate on that at a later date, we'll elaborate on that. Right now, I just want to keep the privacy on that one. But thank you. But yeah,
she is in the hospital.
She is in the hospital,
and it was a life-threatening condition.
100%.
Okay. Dust Devil. Being alone is one of the hardest skills to learn, but once you can do it, it helps if you're with someone or not.
Agreed.
Dude, well, I don't know how. What is Brian? I don't know. Is he an Xer? I'm a Gen Xer, dude. Being alone is like 95% of my life.
Yeah.
Right. I have no problems with being alone.
Yeah.
Right? I have problems with feeling like I'm alone.
Yes. That's correct. That's two different things. That's what I was going to say on the same thing. Is that it's not the fact that I'm alone. It's when I feel I'm alone. I call it the desert island. You're like in the middle of this ocean, desert island. That's when I have problems.
And my dad died in 2017, and my mom is not. She hasn't been mentally right since that happened, and I try not to call her with this kind of stuff, because I don't know how she is going to react to it. So I told her that we're probably going to get divorced, and she was telling me to file bankruptcy. So I was like, okay, what's that got to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. I love you too. So Aco saying it'll take time. Just enjoy the little things. Social is best avoided. Enjoy the kids and get in exercise. You know, I've been doing a lot of cool stuff with my kids. I took my son bowling the other day. All right, and I'll tell you, this was, and it was just me and him bowling. And what was cool, it was like the, what do they call it, cosmic bowling, where they turn the lights off.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it was cosmic bowling, me and him, and he's 7. And of course they got the bumpers up, and he's got the lightest ball you could possibly get, and he's throwing it from like 8 feet up in the air onto the wood. I expected somebody to come out there and just raise hell, right? Mm-hmm. But sitting across from us was obviously another lady that had probably been divorced. She had her son there, and what I think was her mom. And then she leaned over and she said, "Well, it looks like we're the divorce crew here." And dude, I was not ready for that. I freaking fell apart in the bowling alley. I'm like, I'm not even divorced yet, and I'm already in the divorce crew.
That sucks. Oh, by the way, I have my chats off, so I'm not. Whatever you're popping up is what I'm seeing.
So Ron English is saying, yes, you're in a tough spot, Dallas, and just like those that have not spoken, you have many friends. Lean on all of us. Hey, I appreciate that, and I'll definitely be leaning on you in person at the No Name Nationals, because if you remember last year at the No Name Nationals, my wife was there, my brother-in-law was there. They were cooking up all kinds of food for everybody to have meat candy. When Ron Ward was needing some meat candy, he came over and ate all our meat candy. And
I'll be parked right next to you, man. So I got plenty of.
And I can't drink. I can't drink. I cannot drink. I will fall apart. Okay. So Ari is saying that working on resto mods causes rectal bleeding. It's good that, there's still something out there that causes rectal bleeding.
Right. I think Bud Light does that now too, right?
It may. I don't know. Let's see. Tom Brown says, car related. I drove my 93 Chevy 4.3 liter about 60 miles the other day. Running okay, but loud ticking noise from the distributor. Checked coil wire, and the whole coil tower on the Dizzy came off with the wire. Okay, yeah, that
would do it.
Yeah,
that would be a ticky noise. That's our
nail her down.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's right, Colleen. Like you have time to mail out 100 AHRA shirts.
You would.
No.
Great wood.
No. There was last week when we did this, everybody hit me with some stuff they bought that week because they felt sorry for me, and I'm sorry, but I sent it all out, right? But man, was I cussing y'all. But I was glad you guys bought the stuff, and I just didn't want to have to package it all up and mail it.
Yeah.
I'm glad nobody's renewing memberships. I still haven't turned off the website or anything. I probably need to do that. So 29 A-Bone Pickup is saying, relationships are give and take. My way or the highway won't work with women, and health before wealth, brother. Keep your head up. Yeah, I agree. Yep. In the Navy they say you only have one thing in your life, and that's your health. So,
and that's why I'm trying to take it back.
Man, Buff is saying that he's been struggling with sugar since 2007 when I went to the hospital and my blood glucose was 800.
Wow.
I lost 100 pounds and got off the insulin. Okay, so here's my situation's a little weird just because what I did was this. I beat diabetes a year and a half ago. They took me off the meds, the whole 9 yards. I was literally like the happiest camper around, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And people are buying all kinds of AHRA merch right now. That's what you're hearing.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is. So I beat it. But what happened is I went to, I got COVID-19, if you remember, November of 2020. or of 2022.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what slowed down the announcement of the No Name Nationals. Was December of 22. I got COVID-19, and I got it bad. And I mean, like, my wife was in the hospital, and I was fucking barely alive, and I was having to watch the kids who it didn't even. They're like, "Oh, I got COVID-19. I got a sniffly nose, right?" And I was like dying, and I got diabetes back from that, which is, and I didn't know till like a month later. Like, man, I don't feel good. I feel like my blood sugar's really high. Let me check it, and it, oh, yep, 320. That's pretty high. So,
What's it supposed to be at?
90 to 120.
Oh, okay. Wow. So yeah, that's pretty high. That's like
And Buff was up at 800.
Wow.
That means, so here's how this works. Diabetes, like, what it does is, all right, how it affects your body. This is why people always lose limbs and eyes and stuff like that, okay? When your body starts collecting sugar, you can't get rid of it. And what happens is it all goes in the bloodstream. And, you know, like if you had let's just say a garden hose, and you were pouring sand in it a handful at a time, right? Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you got enough sand in there that it'll clog that garden hose. And that's what happens with diabetes. Your blood gets so thick that your heart can't pump it in the capillaries, which is primarily what feeds your retinas and your eyes. And it's also what on the extreme, on the very end, the extremities of your body, your fingers, your hands, your feet. Yeah, your feet are furthest from your heart. So they're the first ones that people always get lopped off when they have diabetes problems, is their feet, because the circulation is so poor. And it's because your blood is so thick that it can't push it down.
Wow.
All right. Okay, so Ari's saying that tuning out guy is going to eat my dinner. Hey, sorry if we bummed you out, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. All thrust, no rudders. $20. Ice cream for the kiddos, the ones who can't imagine life without you. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
thanks,
true.
man.
Like, yeah, that. Well, your kids. I'll give you a quote from my wife. She said, "We may be getting divorced, but your kids will love you unconditionally."
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, I try to do something special for them every weekend. Last weekend, we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy in the IMAX Amos surround sound.
I haven't taken my kids to see a movie in like about a month.
Dude,
I took
you
them.
gotta go.
Well, I just took them right before this whole thing went sideways.
Dude, it's like a thing, man. They so enjoy going into this thing and sitting down, and now they all have like assigned seating now, so you can show up like 5 minutes before it starts. It's awesome.
Oh, Jonathan Couchy. Actually, the prosthetics is pretty comfortable. They basically just cut above my ankle. I have a sock, then it sits in a foam liner, then in the prosthetic leg. It's just because of the leg bacterial infection. Oh, okay, all right.
Wow.
Okay. And Dizzy's right there. He knows. It's the feeling of abandonment. That's the feeling that is killing me at the moment.
Yeah. That's the same feeling I had too, as the abandonment. Just like, wow, I'm still here doing all this stuff on my own. It sucks.
Yeah. Ron English says it's a nice slam on the Bud Light, dude. Yeah, Dizzy is saying that his car saved his mental state. I'll tell you what, my car saved me from being a drunk. I went through one of these in 2000. I went through one of these in 2000, and it was bad, right? I was stationed in Japan, and I met this Japanese girl, and man, I was freaking head over heels about this chick. She was badass. And then one day, it literally just came to an abrupt end. I don't love you anymore. I hate you. I wish you would die. And it's like, whoa. Oh, okay, how do I eat that crap, right? And I beat myself up for like 3 years, just abusing myself with lots of alcohol, lots of work. And come to find out, she was banging the guy that slept on the ship above, like in the rack above me, and that made it even worse.
It's brutal.
And I dealt with that for a long time. And then, we were supposed to get married, and I had bought a sensible family car. See, I had come back from Japan, and I wanted an 87 Grand National so bad, right? In 99, they weren't all that catastrophically expensive, right? You could get one for about 13, 14 grand. That was a really nice car. And that's what I wanted. This chick talked me into getting a family car, right? Let's get a family car, something that we can be proud of that'll last a while. Like, okay, fine. So I bought that Thunderbird, and she said, whatever you do, you can't make anything, it can't be performance oriented at all. You leave it just alone, right? And when that chick just pooped on me, the first thing I'm doing is like making one wicked badass race car out of that thing, But I wanted my goddamn Grand National, so I wanted. And now they're so expensive, I'll probably never be able to buy one.
Make one. Make it a tribute car. Find one.
Yeah. Well, Clint I had the answer here, but he says, by the way, Dallas, I repossessed the S10. Hope you don't mind. No, I don't mind at all. I'm actually giving the motor away this week, hopefully, to somebody with a pile of money. Because, all right, this was something like I'm all screwed up now on my projects. I had the Boat Anchor 350 Buick, which was turbocharged stock 350 Buick. Clint had given me this standard cab. It's not even an S10, it's a Sonoma. It's an S15 Sonoma.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? Okay, I was going to drop a 350 Buick in it because it's 2.5 inches shorter than a Chevrolet small block. So now you don't have that weird thing with the fan in the fan shroud being non-existent and the water pump up in the radiator, right? The Buick is shorter. What I was going to do is I was going to call it the PSI clone, right? The Cyclone. Because that's what the hot rod version of the Sonoma was the Cyclone, right? But they were all black, and they had a turbocharged 4.3 liter V6, and they were all-wheel drive. Well, I was going to make a rear-wheel drive one with a 350 Buick, and then a two-speed. The one everybody considers a Power Glide is a Buick, but it's actually a Super Turbine 300. So it's a switch pitch two-speed torque converter with a two-speed transmission.
So like a 4-speed then.
Right, but. Yeah. Right. The whole idea was because you got a 2-speed torque converter, right? So you got low stall and high stall. So you leave in high stall and then immediately switch that sucker to low stall and lug the motor because it's a turbo application, and then throw it into high gear and load the hell out of it. And I thought it would be great. But yeah, I'm not going to get it done. Okay. Uh-oh. Somebody's saying that Miller Lite sucks now, too.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. That's what happened? Miller Lite jumped on the bandwagon. Women are better than men bandwagon. Okay.
Well, whatever.
Danny Boyd. Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking at that same kind of thing right now myself. I was actually going to use a later one because you can get them really easy and cheap. The 3800 Series 2 out of like a Camaro or a Firebird. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the No Name Nationals heals all. There's no way I could do what I did last year and make it work.
Yeah, but I'm going to give you guys a hand, too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of us that are going to help out.
But you know what? It's been an hour. I think it's time that we pretty much call it a night. I appreciate all the people that jumped in there and bought the AHRA merch. I'll get it out to you. Probably not going to be very fast at it.
And if anyone didn't want to say anything in the chat and just want to talk, slantdailygarage@yahoo.com. You can just throw it up there and it will just whatever. And if it helps anyone out, I'm down for that. Also, too, if we didn't get to any of your tech talk questions, if you still have some of that, I'm doing my best to get to them. slantdailygarage@yahoo.com, and we'll get to you. And they're going to eventually go back to normal, but right now this is just kind of what we're doing because it's helping us out, and we really appreciate you guys.
Somebody's saying I got to read Buff's comment. So
okay,
when my wife left, I put all my time into my work and no alcohol. It took about 3 years before I started having fun again. Tony had me on his lives, and then I went to the No Name Nationals. I feel better now. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I'm at. I've actually, the 26th of this month will be 3 months for me. It's not like I was, a daily drinker or anything like that, but it just stopped. Just decided not to even give it any alcohol, nothing. Just stopped. See what's happening. Why not make a big change if you're going to make a change?
Yeah, I did. I quit smoking and quit drinking 3 months ago, and now I'm kind of I drink a beer every now and then. So,
yeah.
Wow, average time for recovery from divorce is 2 to 5 years. Is that true?
I was going to say 2 years. No, you'll be fine. He's talking about 100% recovery. It's going to take just a few months to get over the initial shock, but to rebuild yourself is about 2 years. That's about right.
Oh, Jupiter Mustang Mike started a GoFundMe.
Wow.
For AHRA. Wait, man, put the link up here.
Yeah, put the link up. Give it to Mr. Wilburn, and sounds awesome.
Bill McKyska, why did you send $100, my friend?
Wow.
Hang on, this is starting to sound like a Wednesday Night Live again. Friends and the things that you're into make the working man's extended family.
Wow.
Hey man, that is top notch. That's the highest I think I ever seen on one of ours.
Or anywhere. I've never seen anything like that. I don't watch a lot of live. Most of the guys I watch lives are just in this family, but thank you.
Yeah, that's stand up, man. I'm gonna have to now take Polito's kids out to the movies. That's the only way I can make that fair.
Keep it to yourself, man. For real.
Okay. Well, I'll take my kids to the movies then.
How about this? Use some of it for some. When we'll make some meat candy, or we'll smoke something at the No Name Nationals. How about that?
Yeah. Nah, it's all right. It's okay. I don't want to smoke something. I don't want to make meat candy.
Yeah. I got a portable electric smoker. So I'm gonna smoke something.
So he's that's what happened last year. I don't know what's gonna happen this year, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what's gonna happen this year. I'm just trying to keep my pants on. Yeah. That's it.
Wow, I'm still just blown away by Bill. That's just amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing, Bill. I appreciate that. God, man, I don't. All right. Unfortunately, I think Google gets like 30% of that or something. They're doing some stupid number. John knows. Wherever he's at, he knows. Okay. Well, Jupiter Mustang Mike, I'm sorry, buddy, but we'll try to do another live, and hopefully you can throw it up there on the next live. I'm sorry, but we got to get out of here. I got to get going. So I'll see you cats on the flip side, hopefully next week. I want to thank for all the people that contributed with super chats.
Thank you.
That bought AHRA merch, that were just here for me, a shoulder to cry on, or experience to learn from. I hope this helps someone else.
Yeah, it humbles you. You know what I mean? It humbles you big time, and just pouring your soul out here and let everyone see. Just kind of pouring out and bleeding, just like, here it is. And I'm not too proud. I have no problem telling my problems. I'm just
yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody has problems, right? That's why we actually did this, was because
exactly.
Look, you guys look at us as like somebody that, provides you some entertainment on Wednesday nights, talk about car stuff. But this is the difference right here between a YouTube personality and someone that's a paid television actor, right?
Just a talking head.
Right. They're literally going to say what you put in front of them for a line. We have real problems to deal with. We have life to deal with, right? So that was the whole idea, was let everybody know that. So we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, take it easy. Thanks for joining in. Have a good week.